Hey, Travis Jermouth here. Just got out of the Penn and Teller show. This is actually the big group of people waiting to talk to Penn and Teller, so I thought while I wait, I would talk immediately after the show. So first off, big caveat you could say for like a fair review. I'm a huge Penn and Teller fan. I first saw them probably about 15 years ago. I saw them again in July for my birthday, and then just saw them a few minutes ago. I listen to Penn Sunday School. I watch Fool Us. I've watched everything that I can see on their YouTube videos. So even back to like the 80s, 90s stuff, which I like a lot as well. So not a huge surprise coming into this show. But what I want to think about, what I want to talk about, is what makes me like them. What makes them so good. And I think watching all these other shows really has helped out with that. This is my David Copperfield band on during from the show I saw before. I'll do the video about that later. What makes them good and what makes them different? The show is really Penn orating is such a big part of it. Such a big part. And then Teller silently doing magic. Now, of course, Penn does magic as well. But I don't want to just say it's the big talky one and the quiet, but when I look at the time notes about how much monologuing goes on in this show, there's much more than other shows. And they're able to do that because it's much better. I really generally dislike most magic monologues. It's always, when I was a kid, I either had a dream or did an activity. Now here's a magic trick about that dream or that activity. And I don't like believe them. They'll start off like, when I was in elementary school, and these alarms go off in my head like, liar, you didn't do that in elementary school. You didn't go bowling with your grandpa. You didn't even go to elementary school. You weren't even really ever a child. For some reason, I just don't believe him at all. And Penn, I really believe for some reason, and I really enjoy it. And I think a lot of other people do as well. And Teller, now just the perfect opposite of this, is doing silent, incredible sleight of hand, incredible magic. I keep looking away from the camera. I should probably be looking at it. And I'm just sort of pulling back to my notes here. Their bits tend to be longer than other people, their acts, which makes sense. I think their tricks tend to be a similar time, but the oration on top of it, it's very like political, the whole show, which is a big change from the other one. This stuff's not as violent as their others, and it's not really dirty in any way. It's very family friendly. They do some real stuff, which I really like, with the trick they call surveillance, the password trick. They really get somebody's password, and they're having someone say their password out loud. Anything that happens real like that, I definitely enjoy. Lots of audience participation. Not the talking back and forth with other people. I think I can't remember like many questions, like open-ended questions where people would respond. I did go up on stage during one of the tricks, the ones, have you ever seen the ones where they have the kids perform the magic? I was one of the adults. And actually, apparently I am closer to a child than an adult, even at 29, and was able to follow along the trick the same way that a child would. So that was kind of neat. I guess made me feel better about myself, having my next birthday, the 30th, not be so far away. Something else they do different is the live music. Music is such a big part of this show, but it's not like hitting you over the head with it. It's just sort of there in a really beautiful way. The piano is really great. I'd say the best opening, like letting people into the show of anyone that I've seen. Actually, this time I missed it, but I did see it last time. What happens is it's Jonesy, playing piano and Penn playing upright bass as people walk in. So you get this sort of like music show as you walk in. It's for a full hour at a time. So you can come really early and you can chill and sit out. And that solves the problem that I think exists for a lot of shows, which is how do you get everybody to come in? So kind of a practical thing that works really well there. Not the ridiculous over-the-top presentation of some other shows. I'm specifically thinking about David Copperfield here. So I'd say like super crazy production. The way Teller talks, I really just want to pay a lot of attention to and learn things from that. The magic's great, even the stuff that you pick out. I'm just sort of running. I can say the things that didn't really resonate. There's one trick they do, which is they're copying what they're saying is Johnny Thompson's tricks from the 50s, and it's like this throwback to Las Vegas, which if you ask me, I would probably say that I would really like. But for some reason, it's like Dove appearances doesn't super strike me. I know what they're going for. It's just like, again, it's great. It's a music act in a lot of ways. Penn's on the drums the whole time, and the drums play such a big part, and the piano plays such a big part, but for some reason it just doesn't super strike me like the other stuff. And they do another one with a teapot trick. I don't know if there's a YouTube video out of that, and that would certainly be my least favorite. I just don't really get it, because they have tea appearing from Teller, and it's one of those tricks where it's not like you could go and do it, but to me at least it's pretty obvious how it's done. Maybe I'm wrong, but at least they're not proving that that's not how it's done. The stuff with the kids too, like having the kids on and doing the magic and having the kids on stage, is really, really cool. Having the kids just take the bow all by themselves and enjoy it, getting the adults all off the stage. I just want to watch all the videos that I can and pick it apart more. I think I'm just running out of things to say. I wish I could say more. Maybe I'll do a follow-up, just like why I love Penn and Teller, and bring it all together sometime. But having seen this show only 3 months ago, being here alone, sitting and taking notes, still really, really good time.